Welcome back everyone to the third episode of our Let's Play for Distant Worlds universe. So last time around we had a little bit of an issue right there at the end. Queued up a resort base for this planet, but doesn't seem, so we've got construction ship queued to build resort base here. But this one was the one that was meant to be queued up and nothing's happened. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to set up one manually. Hopefully it just doesn't result in us getting two resort bases set up, but if that does, we can just scrap the other one, so that's okay, no big deal there. And we've got our little, we've got a construction ship there heading over to repair our destroyer here. And we're jumping up in our credits there, so what I might do, actually jump into the colony screen and lower our tax rate back down again. So we've got 73,000 credits there, so shouldn't need any more than that for quite some time, which will be good. So running at 15 billion people population, which is great. It's building up nicely, so I reckon we're going to hit, given the size of the planet and the quality of the planet, I reckon we're going to hit probably around the 26, maybe 27 billion mark by the time we max out. So we're only at 2105, so that's probably going to happen in the next couple of years actually, which will be great. Nice and big population, nice and early, will set us up good for the rest of the game. So just cruising along, basically waiting for our exploration ship has finished, so there's nothing else for it to explore in our system until we get hyperdrives we can't get outside our system. Basically just waiting for hyperdrives to kick in, so it's only 5%, so it's not too far away. Might actually just put a crash course here. It's only 29,000 credits, and we're not too far away from having sort of too much money there. So it's probably a good use of our money at the moment. Get that out nice and early. We can upgrade our ships, get our explorers out, build a few more. Actually, what I might do while we're sort of waiting here, I might actually queue up a few explorers. Exploration ships. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put out 8 at the moment, which would be good. And hopefully by the time these done, we can just do a quick retrofit, and those two won't take too long to set up there. So get hyperdrives on those nice and quick, get those out exploring. We're actually just going to see, there we go, they've actually all just finished there. Super quick and perfect timing, couldn't have worked out any better. So, hyperspace technology discovered. We've discovered hyperspace technology, allowing our starships to travel faster than light. This momentous discovery means that we can finally leave our own solar system and travel to faraway stars, truly exploring the galaxy. This amazing discovery has produced a new scientist in our empire, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Wunta. It's a pretty awesome name. We should quickly exploit this new capability by redesigning and building new ships with these hyperdrives. Perfect advice. So we're going to set up our research next. I've got hyperdrive set up there. We don't need anything here right now, so actually what I'm going to go for, I grab advanced nuclear fission. So this is going to upgrade our reactors, just make them, give them more energy output, and it's a little bit bigger though, but that's okay. It's definitely going to be worth it. So a little bit more space efficient. So next thing I'm going to do, jump into the design screen, state ships, and get our exploration ship. So I'm going to mainly upgrade because we actually need to add a new component in, which is the warp bubble generator. So I'm just going to add that one in. As you can see, big thing over here, once you add hyperdrives in for the first time, you see we're a long way away from where we need to be. So maximum speed is 2,000, but we're only capped at 560 because we haven't got enough power. So what we're going to do is basically adding on reactors until we get up to the 2,000 mark. So we're nearly there at the moment, but given the fact that we're pretty good on money, I'm actually going to add another one in. So it's not really going to cost a whole lot more, just a little bit extra speed. So maybe a bit of a too pedantic there, but I think it's worth it. Have a support life module or life support, and we're good to go. So we finished that one. I'm actually going to upgrade our construction ships as well while we're here, and do the same thing. Those two in and save. I'm actually going to build up some escorts as well. So think about once you do your first hyperspace jump, something that's not really explained in the game, or you don't get any sort of fair warning of, you actually get sort of some space creatures that are sort of spawned on the first time that you actually engage your hyperdrive in your system. So if we don't have any military ships for that, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Well, not trouble, we just might lose a few. Gets a few sort of private sector ships damaged and just sort of slow things down a little bit. So I'm actually just going to click auto upgrade to start with, and then go into manually upgrade. So that just means any sort of like the Maxos Blaster and things like that, they'll just get upgraded automatically, and means I won't have to do it manually. So the first thing is to add in a warp bubble and some more reactors. I'll chuck on 2 because we're going to need some more for weapons as well. So we're up to maximum size 300, so just have to keep that in mind as well, so we don't add too many things in. And so that's looking good. Add on some armor, probably just add on 100 at the moment, and add on just a couple of 100 shields. 300 will do. Probably want to bump up the firepower a little bit as well. So probably go up to 40, and then add on a few missiles as well. Take up to 286 and 52 firepower, which is good. Heaps of power there, so that's not a problem. And life support and hab module. Take us to 289. Might just add on another 50 armor. Take us up to nearly 300, which is good enough. And that should be good for now. I probably won't chuck on the energy collector yet, just because we're not really going to have enough to be sort of sitting around, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. We'll probably do it later on, do a big retrofit and add them on to all our ships, but for now that should be really good. So I'm just going to save that. And next thing we're going to do is go into the private ship. So this is going to take a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth doing. So what we're going to do is basically add warp bubble generators to all these ships. So even though we don't control these ships, they basically, the private sector is forced to sort of build up or build what you design for them. And especially like when you upgrade ships for them, they often quite keen to get in there and to upgrade, because it's usually sort of a benefit for them. And the good thing about that as well, we'll get a bunch of bonus income because they'll be using our spaceports to do that. So same thing happens when, oops, I need one of those. Same thing happens when you upgrade mining stations and things like that. You can actually go in, you can't do it with private sector ships, but you can do it with mining stations. So you actually go in and force a retrofit straight away, and that actually gives you a whole stack of money. So it's really sort of a good thing to do quite early on if you can. So I'll do that quite soon. That should give us a little bit of extra money, and means we can just keep boosting our population and not have to worry about money for the time being. So just keep adding on those, and the last support hub module. Same with the passenger ship. And 1, 2, 3. Those on. Gas mining ship the same. And 1, 2, 3. And finally, they'll just dump standard mining ship. So it's going to be really good for them as well, because they can actually start going out, especially now that we've upgraded our constructors. Our constructors will be able to go outside our own system and start building mining stations and gas mining stations on in other systems. So that means our freighters and our mining ships can do the same thing and go out there and search a bit further and get some better materials. So what I'm actually doing quickly here as well, I might as well get all this out of the way quickly. Just upgrade our gas mining station. Just basically going to add on some armor, because these can be quite remote a lot of the time, and you'll find that they actually really sort of prime pickings for pirates and other empires. So it's really good to sort of fortify these as much as you can, give them some good weaponry as well. And it's sort of a little bit cruel maybe, but the private sector is sort of rolling in money, especially sort of later on. So I sort of usually err on the side of caution and add in too much, usually only because I'm not paying for it. So it doesn't really matter to me too much how much it costs, and especially when they have a big sort of cash in hand bonus. So it's not going to hurt their hip pocket at all. So that should be good enough there. We have 3,000 shields, 200 armor. Going to have to bump up the reactors as well to give us enough power. So that's 153, 130 and 99, so that's heaps there. And energy collector there, and our static energy usage. It means they won't be burning through any extra fuel. And do the same in our, I guess, our standard mining station. 200 and 3,000, and add on just one more reactor and a few more weapons. Oops, didn't want that many. And just check a few of those off, and add on some missiles as well. So that should be good enough for now. Life support hub module. And 3 and 148, 152, so we're near the reactor. And energy collectors 2, which would be good. So that's plenty there. Good. So what we can do is go in retrofit a whole bunch of things. Start with our exploration ships, and you just sort of shift click and retrofit all of these at once. Should be good. I'm actually going to queue up. Won't do our construction ships yet because they're doing things. But as soon as those finish, we'll upgrade those. Because it's going to take them a bit of time to get back to base anyway. So where are we? Mining stations. So we've only got a couple at the moment, which is good. And 6,000 credits, and another 6,000 for that one. So there we go. So all our exploration ships will, you see that we actually got a whole bunch of income because we retrofitted those. And I forgot to do something. We retrofitted those mining stations, so we got about 12,000 credits there. So what I'm going to do is actually go into our medium spaceport and grab our escort, which we upgraded. I'm just going to get probably 3 at the moment, which will be more than enough for what we need. Here we go. First hyper jump. One of our ships, the Wild Treasure, has engaged its hyperdrive, allowing us to travel fast and light for the very first time. Distances that previously took months to traverse can now be covered nearly instantly. Next stop, the stars. We're also receiving reports that at the time of this hyperjump, unusual sensor readings were reported at one of our planets. Maybe we should send a ship to investigate this area. So what that basically means is that at our planet, which was where? Here, we should have somewhere in our system have some little space creatures, although they haven't really realized they are. They're over here. That's right, I was at the wrong planet. Here we go. Giant Couters, or Couters, however you want to pronounce them. So these guys are actually quite quick, and they're a little bit going to be a lot tougher than too tough for our like our mining ships here. So they'll actually automatically flee. So here we go. We've encountered a giant Couter, a space monster near our planet. This fearsome beast lives in the cold, dark vacuum of space and attacks any passing ships. This Couter bears an uncanny resemblance to monsters described in ancient legends that descended from the sky to consume all in their path. Perhaps it would be wise to steer clear of these dangerous creatures. Unfortunately, we can't do that, otherwise they're going to cause havoc on our worlds. So we've got a frigate here, just refueled, send them back to our planet. And what we're going to do actually is set up just before our ships come through. Go down to military ships. We'll set up just our escorts at the moment into a new fleet. And fleets, especially the further on you get in the game, fleets are a really, really good thing just to keep track of all your ships. So eventually, you're going to have hundreds of military ships. So you just not be able to manage them individually. So it's a good thing to just form everything into fleets straight away before they're built, and then they sort of don't go off and do their own thing too much. So I've got an offer here from a pirate to put us in contact with another empire. So we've got a fair bit of money, so I'm actually going to do this. And the reason I'm going to do this is it's a ex-human, so that's sort of just basically variant of the human, obviously, a little bit more aggressive and things like that. So, but what I'm actually going to do here is we can't see, as you can see, where they are at the moment. But as we've got a couple of intelligence agents, we're going to choose the one with espionage and concealment, so definitely use this one. We're going to send them over here and try and steal their galaxy map. A little bit low probability, so I might just go for territory map, which is a bit better, and give them most time possible. This time to complete isn't how long exactly they're going to take. It just sort of gives them that option, so they may very well, depending on their skill and stuff, do it a lot quicker. But the lower down you make this, the more risky it is. I've generally found intelligence agents can get caught quite easily, and if they get caught, you lose them. So it's usually better to be sort of safe than sorry with them, and just sort of give them time to do their thing. Military ship constructed. We've constructed our first military ship. We're now able to defend ourselves against threats, build more military ships to protect our empire throughout our star system. So that is good. So we got our first fleet out here. So, because they're on, even though they're not automated, they've actually got a posture here, attack any targets. So they're actually going to go jump over near the counters over here, and they're actually going to take care of those themselves without me having to do anything, which would be good. Got a few exploration ships just sitting here. No idea why. You should be off doing things. There we go. Sometimes I do find when they're on automated, especially when they've been automated to start with. So sort of give them a little bit of a boost, or sort of reset their automation, and that sort of sends them off and sort of gives them a bit of a kickstart, and they move off and do their thing. So that's really good. Actually, our fleet's not moving. It's probably because I stuffed it up. So now they're going to move out. That's an exploration ship. So we give them target order out here, and they're going to move out here and take care of the counters. Here we go. So we're actually going to take a little bit of damage, but we should be fine. That's why I put a little bit of armor on there. One of our construction ships, so finish the resort base here. So I'm actually going to go down here and just go down to this button, retrofit, and that'll go straight to the starport and retrofit by itself. So we go over to our fleet, and there we go. They did take some damage, but not a whole lot. A little bit there actually. But that's not too bad. Now all the counters are gone and they won't respawn back in our system, which is great. So we're going to go down into, actually just go here and repair. I don't need to retrofit them, so they'll just go here and repair automatically, which will be good. Ancient Guardians. So this is basically sort of like a story chain, or event mission that comes up if you sort of choose it in the when you're starting or setting up your game. So we've encountered an advanced race of machines called the Mechanoids in the Deadly Chasm system. Mechanoids are a very strange race. They exist as pure logic living inside computer networks. They can project their presence on holographic displays or video screens. They are assisted by small robots called Helpanoids, who build and maintain all of the machinery for the Mechanoid civilization. This machine race describe themselves as guardians of the junction system, a Karmas junction system. They warn you not to enter this system. It is a forbidden zone. The Mechanoids appear to be very unfriendly and unwelcoming. Perhaps it would be wise to stay clear of them. And stay clear of them we will, because they are a hell of a lot more powerful than us, and will be for quite some time. Our other construction ship has completed its mission, and that was once being retrofitted. So I'm actually just going to automate this at the moment. So I know a lot of people sort of like to micromanage their construction ships and make sure they're getting the most minerals. But generally I find that once we're sort of out of this star system, it's good just to automate them, and they're pretty good about building sort of the right things most of the time. And if you sort of, I'll come in here and check in periodically, and especially if they're sort of luxury resources, so indicated by the sort of orange background here, I'll go through and sort of queue up those manually. Make sure we sort of grab those, but for now I'm just going to send that off and let it do what it wants to do. Secret warning from the Ancient Guardians will go tell us more. Dark ones of ancient times long to return. They seek a pathway back to dominate over all. Beware of unknown monuments and beacons that light the way. Be prepared for the revenge of the destroyers. And that is extraordinarily ominous, but we won't have to worry about it for a little while, so that's good. So like I mentioned, that's all sort of part of the story mission that's sort of going on in the background and will unfold over the course of the game. New source of Emerus crystal has been discovered at our colony in our home system. This new supply of Emerus crystal will benefit our empire's economy. So basically we just got another resource here which has been discovered, which is good, and everything's going pretty well at the moment. So we've got our little escort sitting there. Still got our frigate, so that exploration ship is still sitting there. Get off your backside and do something. And nope, you're not going to. I will send you out then. You can go out here and explore this system, and then automate. Actually, something I probably should have done a little bit earlier, just looking at that there. So, anyone new to the game, this sort of ring is the range. So this is as far as what our ships will be able to go, and there's actually not a whole lot in this system, which is probably why he was sitting around before while I was abusing him. So we actually want to increase that out a little bit so they can sort of get out to some of these systems, because we're a little bit sort of barren around here and we've only sort of got the systems through here. It's just the way that our starters worked out for us. So what I'll do, jump in here into our state ships, our exploration ship, manually upgrade, and I'll put in some more fuel cells. Jump that up to nearly 500, which is fine. So all of this is making our ships far more expensive, but that's really okay for the moment, so we're doing pretty well for money, so it's definitely worth it. It is sort of worth pointing out that the further up you go in hyperspace technology or hyperdrive technology, the further you can travel, basically on the same fuel, so or sort of similar fuel levels. So every time you jump up, the range that a ship's can travel is going to sort of jump up or expand quite a bit without you even touching the fuel capacity. So this is sort of something we really need to do early on. So we do that, jump into our exploration ships. Most of them are sort of finished at the moment anyway, doing their thing, so we'll just retrofit all of those, and they'll come back in, retrofit, and they should be able to explore quite a bit further. So this is our resort base, which we've set up. And you can see down here on board 120k of Gizurean tourist, which is good. And now if you have a look in our Empire summary screen, we're down to our bonus income. We've got 15k of resort income this year, which is great. So that's what I mean. That's just from one station, and there's not really a lot of people on there, of our citizens on there, compared to its capacity. So that sort of gives you an idea of how much money you can sort of actually rake in once you set up your resort bases properly. So it's definitely something to work on when you can. So we'll just check our exploration ship now that they've been retrofitted. So here we go. So actually cover a lot more of these stars and sort of some of these new ones as well. So that'll be good. Give them a little bit more to do and give us more of an idea about what's going on out there, which is what we want. Turn off and turn it on. Nope, it doesn't help. That's all right. I suppose they've only got so much that they can do. So pirates secretly funded to attack an empire. Our intelligence network has uncovered a covert arrangement of the Ancient Guardians. Oh, don't annoy them. Ancient Guardians have made a secret deal with the pirate faction to attack the ships and bases of another pirate faction. Warning the cruel raiders about this secret deal with no doubt and their gratitude towards us. It will also damage the reputation of the Ancient Guardians. Should we quietly warn them? No, we won't. Just on the off chance that we annoy the Ancient Guardians, we don't want to do that. And here we go. Our race, the Gizurean, has begun a regular 7-year change cycle. For the next 2 years, Gizurean will have increased population growth, which is good. So really, the Gizurean race is all about sort of population, and we expand really, really quickly. So it's always a good one, fun one to play. You saw there, just on top 10%, so we're up to 38%. So we're going to max out really, really quickly. And within the next few months, I would have thought actually we're up to 24 billion already. 38% increase, which is absolutely insane. So we're actually going to be rolling in money soon, even though we're playing on very hard difficulty, which is good for us, not good for everybody else. So finished a couple of bits of research, advanced nuclear fission, which will give us new reactors, which is, like you can see there, new. And if you're not sure, like a lot of these get cut off, and you can't really click on them. A lot of times they don't really tell you a lot. So you actually go up here into our message history, go to all messages, and you actually get you the full message there. So it's a new component, so we have to add those onto our ships if you want to, but we won't do that for a little while. And we've completed Armoured Ground Assault, which will give us a new planetary facility, and then we can build armoured ground units. So we'll go down into our home world, go down here into the green one, which is planetary facility, and build an armoured factory. Go up to research, and we've got weapons research available. Probably won't build any of these right now. The rest of the defense stuff, we're not going to need it for a little while. So planetary defense units are good, but don't really need them right now. So might actually be a little bit greedy and jump for another level of beam weapons. And go into energy construction. And we might actually go for enhanced construction as well. It just gives us another level of ship size, so go up to 400, and also now enables us to build resupply ships, which are sort of basically sort of like what the names suggest, is sort of like mobile resupply points. So if you're away from your planet, you can set them up on like a gas giant with some fuel, and you can sort of go there rather than having to trek all the way back to your planet. So they can be quite useful later on in the game. Our fleet's just sitting out for there, so we just tell them to move back to the planet, and they'll sort of follow the planet back around as well. And we've completed an armoured factory, which is great. So now if you have a look down here, we can build armoured forces, so the Gizurean battle swarm, rather than the Gizurean war swarm, which is just standard infantry. So they're a lot more expensive, take up a lot more space, but they're really sort of the only thing, especially on sort of anything above normal, that you're really going to be able to invade any planets with. Just because the AI keeps a lot of troops on its planet. So we've actually maxed out our population already. So 7 years into the game, we've maxed out our homeworld. 28 billion people. So what we can do now, we probably want to keep these our population at happy. So this sort of goes from satisfactory and then up to happy, and the cutoff point or the change point for that is plus 15 happiness. So we're basically at that level, and then we're going to be basically have more money than what we can spend at the moment, but we'll find a way. So plus 13, so we'll drop that down another 32, and they're happy with us now, plus 15. So that just, I mean, if we're not increasing population, it doesn't matter too much, but I just generally like to staves off any problems in case we get a sort of a plague come through or anything like that, or something bad happens to our planet, which is going to keep the peace for a little bit longer. So run this, and once our cash flow changes, so plus 184,000 credits a year, so we have an absolutely enormous amount of money, which is good. So where are we at? What I might do, I might actually build another constructor, because that one's repairing ships does take quite a long time. So we've got that destroyer there. It's only got one left though, that's right. But it's still going to take quite a bit of time to get back to our planet and retrofit. So what I might actually do is build another constructor at our planet and build a construction ship. That'll be good. So that'll automatically start on automated. So you can actually decide in the settings whether you have your ships when they're built begin on automated. I usually do, because I like to automate some, and then if I don't obviously want to have other ones on manual control, I'll just do that when I set them up. So abandoned ship encounters. This is because we've actually repaired the ship that we discovered before. So this one out here. So it's sort of not a new one. It's just because we repaired it and we can actually now use it. So if we have encountered an abandoned destroyer adrift in the Alaroon system. Shall we investigate? Yes, we can. So we investigated and boarded it and taken control. We actually disassemble this and get a boost. Although we can use it in our fleet, and they've also given us a beacon location. So we can go and check out that beacon, wherever that beacon is, all the way out here. So we're not going to get to it for a while. That's okay. You can actually see, I had noticed before, that's our planet there, with ex-humans. So you can see they've actually got a population of 4 billion, so we're a long way ahead of the curve here. But they could be they're likely to be maybe a little bit more advanced than us in terms of perhaps military. Nope, they're not, so they're a long way behind. So I don't think they're going to be too much of a threat this game. Might be a little bit easy pickings early on. So you go up there. This is sort of, in case you didn't see that, up in the victory conditions screen. So we don't have any here, but you can actually run through and sort of get a comparison of where you're at. So you can see population-wise, we are way ahead of everybody else, even the Ancient Guardians. So you can see military strength, Ancient Guardians are absolutely light years ahead of us. But population-wise, we're a long way in front. Territories are the same because no one's expanded outside their system yet. Economy, we're a long way above our real competitors. So Ancient Guardians, in case you don't know or worried about it, starting out a new game, they actually never come outside their own system. So you don't have to worry about them expanding. If you sort of just leave them to themselves, they're not going to bother you. Strategic value, military strength, and top colonies. So we're looking pretty good for now. Generally what I find in sort of these difficulties, you have a lot of sort of perhaps weaker races, which sort of some that you're really ahead of, and then you have a couple which are sort of either at least as equal or better than you, that you're sort of really fighting out the rest of the game for. So something to really be aware of. So our new destroyer doesn't have any hyperdrive, so we're going to send them back to our planet. And with our construction ship, once that little mission just toggles off, pair destroyer, and finish. Yep, so that's finished, and now it's going to, so you were the one actually that had the resort base, so we don't actually want that anymore. So what we're going to do is just retrofit. So you come back and retrofit, and we're going to tell you onto automatic. So basically once it's retrofitted, then it'll just go off and do its own thing, so that'll be good. So our construction ship's been completed, so that one's on automated already, so that will go give itself a mission soon. Officers Pirates have offered us a colony location for 20,000 credits. I've got a fair bit of money, so I might just take this at the moment. So I know from experience we're going to sort of run out of things to spend it on for a little while. So that one's all the way out here, so it's going to be probably outside of our reach, but good to know anyway. And what race are they? Wrong screen. Nope, it's not showing it there. And Boscara. So they're not. Yep. Most violent and aggressive race in the known galaxy, so we wouldn't want to colonize them anyway. I think they may eat us alive. So looking pretty good here. Actually running at 31 minutes at the moment, so might put a cut in here. And next time we're going to sort of expand our military. Colonization should sort of come in quite soon. Crash course is 120,000, so actually, because we got a lot of money, we might actually crash course that next episode. And we, oh dear, and we can get out and start colonizing quite quickly. So what's happened here? I'll just do this before we finish. Another pirate, so there's a whole stack of pirates that you'll come across in the game, sort of, you know, probably above 20 or 30 throughout the galaxy. So we've only paid off one, so this little sort of the blue bar here, you can see the sort of the legend or the key down here, so it says pirate protection, so we're only paying off these ones and we haven't paid off these ones. So they're attacking us. How strong are they? They're probably a little bit more strong, a little bit stronger than us. Oh god. Cruiser with 336 firepower, that's insane this early on. So we're going to pay them off as well. So we're actually going to go in here and request a protection arrangement. And wow, we have to pay a lot of money. There is a trick that you can actually do. I'm probably not going to do it in this game, just sort of make it a little bit harder for myself, but just maybe if some of you people starting out or maybe haven't come across this before, you can actually, if you're, so a lot of it's based on what the pirates will try and extort you for is based on a lot of time your cash flow. So if you've got a negative cash flow, so for example, if I went to my colony screen and dropped the tax rate down to 0 and let that run for a little while until it went into the red and went back to the pirates and then requested a protection arrangement again, they would only request a far less amount than 2,500 credits, which is exorbitant in the extreme. So I'm actually not going to do that for the moment, so just make it a little bit harder for myself in this game, just because I know from the last few times I've ran it very hard, I've sort of had a bit too much money there. So we'll do that now, so that's going to cost us, yeah, so it's about 25 grand a year, so that's a lot of money there. So sort of paying off pirates is something that you'll have to do sort of probably throughout most of the game, depending on how the pirate factions go. Some are going to be quite weak and some you'll actually be able to wipe out, which I take a lot of joy in doing later on, especially when you've been paying them off a lot of the time, a lot of the game. But some of them will actually expand and become quite formidable for most of the game, really sort of until the mid or late game, until you really start building up your military and you can sort of really take them on. But even then, they take a lot of effort to sort of do. So sometimes it's even worth just sort of paying them off for the majority of the game. And the problem with sort of paying them off as well is we're giving them 2,500 credits a month, so they're going to use a lot of that money to expand. So they're going to become even more powerful. So it's sort of a little bit of a catch-22 situation that's you're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't. So sort of something to be aware of. But they were quite powerful already. So 23 ships, 1,000 firepower is not too bad. They actually don't control any colonies either, so not too bad for the moment, but I'll probably jump up a little bit with all our hard-earned money. So anyway, we're going to put a cut in here, and I'll see you guys next time.